Okay, we are on air. Welcome, everybody. My name is Gene Marks. I'm president and owner of the Marks Group PC. We are a 10-person company based outside of Philadelphia. Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania is where we are. And we implement CRM, customer relationship management applications. We do 5 of them. Salesforce.com, which we're not talking about today, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, Zoho CRM, Goldmine CRM, a little bit with Nimble CRM as well. We have about 600 clients all around the country that we serve, that we provide services for, and that are active on all these different products. With me today is Corey Babka. Corey is our VP of Operations. He basically is in charge of all of our products and projects that we have going on and is well familiar with the applications that we deliver. So Corey, thank you for joining.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
So what we want to do is we want to talk today about Dynamics, Microsoft Dynamics CRM and Zoho CRM. We want to make some comparisons to them. And I think both Corey, you and I have some comments on both of them, but I'm going to start with you as well. You know, Corey, when we go into prospective clients, can you give me 3 examples of when Dynamics CRM would be a really good fit for a company? Like what 3 examples would come to mind?
Yeah, it's actually, there's a few things that lead us down the road as to which one we go with. Number one is always kind of the size of the company. I look at whether, it's 5 users, 10 users, 20 users, 30 users. There's a certain scalability that I don't believe that Zoho can handle. It depends on what they're using now, right? And I mean that with size of company. Are they using Excel files? Can they get away with something basic right now? What's their budget? Those all really come into play when we're trying to figure out what it is. For instance, we migrate a lot of our Goldmine customers to Zoho. Cost effective wise, it's about the same. Number of users, it's very similar. I think that when it's Dynamics, it's because they've outgrown their smaller system. They need a little bit more.
Right.
And again, it's also that if they're 30 users, 40 users, 50 users, I lean right away more towards Dynamics. I would even say, you might agree, like over 10 to 15 users, we might even go forward and say, let's go Dynamics.
Yeah, let's face it, Dynamics does compete. Although the sweet spot of our clients for Dynamics really is anywhere between 5 and 50 users.
Yeah.
But Microsoft does position it as an enterprise product that competes against Salesforce.com and Oracle and SAP and some of the larger products as well. So I think you're right. Number one is that when we hit a certain size client, when we're talking about 25, 50, 100 users, Dynamics immediately comes to mind as an application that could definitely handle that. Okay, so that's number one size. What else?
Yeah, and so number one, segue into number 2. There's also the idea of Microsoft, right? If you're a Microsoft shop, you're going to lean more towards Dynamics right away.
Right.
And I use that in a way because Zoho is, I think it's fantastic. You and I both agree, great product, up and coming, right? However, its establishment in the marketplace, or how it's laid itself out and where it is in the market of CRM, it's a fairly new player. And when you're talking to IT, infrastructure, IT groups within the company, and you mention a Zoho, sometimes they're like, a what? And they don't know. And so, but if you say Microsoft Dynamics, whether we love, hate, or just like Microsoft, whatever, everyone knows who it is. And so, and many times these operations, they are Microsoft shops. They use Outlook. They use Word and Excel indefinitely. Every day they're in different Excel files.
Right.
They're using OneNote. They're using SharePoint. All of those items come into play. And again, these are for larger clients of ours. Your small 5 users generally don't have SharePoint. They have a file server somewhere. They might be using Outlook, but maybe not Exchange. The big one for me is if they're an Exchange shop, Microsoft Exchange, done, Dynamics, has to be. Right? Because the integration with those is just so much better. There are plugins for Zoho, I believe. I know there are for Outlook actually, for that. And then you can do POP3, and it has a mail client, which is really nice. But Outlook itself and Microsoft Office and Word and Excel, those are the big ones that really, are you a Microsoft shop or not?
Right. Yeah, I've seen, and again, a comment on that as well. We meet a lot of different clients that they have heavy Outlook users. Maybe they're well invested in SharePoint. They're well invested in Office. They have an infrastructure, their IT group or Microsoft certified people. So it's very common where the IT manager will say, hey, Gene, we're really interested in a good CRM application as long as it's made by Microsoft, because that's all we know. So when we come across different clients that, Microsoft is the brand, that's sort of like an automatic fit. So, okay, so size of the client definitely is attractive for Microsoft Dynamics CRM. If they're a Microsoft shop, that's certainly attractive. For it just gives me. Oh, by the way, one other thing is, the ERP system. I mean, we oftentimes run into clients that are using another Dynamics product like Dynamics GP or Dynamics Nav or Dynamics AX, and so if they're already using a Dynamics ERP system, when you're getting Dynamics CRM, it's just it's like sort of a no-brainer because they integrate in together. So having a Microsoft environment is really big. What were you going to say?
The irony there with those ERP systems is that, it used to be that they were all Dynamics or, Microsoft Great Plains, you had Microsoft CRM, and everyone would just assume that they integrate beautifully. Well, back in the day, we all know they did not, because Microsoft used to swallow up different pieces and put them together. But at least there's a comfort in knowing. And people are willing to jump outside of Microsoft for something bigger and badder, like Salesforce, because they know that's the cool kids table. It's got to be worth it. It's been around for a long time. But sometimes Zoho, like I said, I can't say it enough. I love it. I think it's fantastic, but it sometimes doesn't have that brand name that people are willing to invest in. And IT managers get scared, when it comes down to it. So,
that makes sense. What's your third thing? You talked earlier about customization.
Yeah, so the third thing, I would actually just lay it out right there, is customizations and configurations. If you require, a large amount of customizations, and I don't mean I need an additional field here, I need an additional field there. I mean like custom objects. I'm building something. We're going to start tracking the equipment at every one of our accounts and what they have, capital equipment, serial numbers, and as well as I want to link in those objects with the, with the service reports and the case reports and anything that is done that way. I believe you just lean towards Dynamics. There's a lot more flexibility with it. You and I both know sometimes that adds an extra cost. I do find that Zoho implementations much smaller in service hours than Dynamics, and you can talk a little bit about that. Turnkey versus non. But Dynamics itself, the customizations and the ability to customize the system is tremendous. I know that I know firsthand with Zoho, you have a certain couple layers that you can customize down, but for instance, things like quote line items, you're not customizing those, right? You're kind of fixed into a certain couple of pieces. So, Dynamics, we can do a lot more. That being said, many times we'll actually just create flat out new objects because maybe the client's quoting process is so different than the standard quote. We'll make our own. And that's what we many times end up doing. And that's what I was talking about, the cost of implementation. I think that with Dynamics itself, because you're doing those customizations, I say it a little bit tongue in cheek, but people always say they want out of the box. We have clients that come in and they go, Dynamics out of the box, that's all I want to install. Can you just do that and how much? And you and I both know, we've been doing this a long time. We've never, ever done a truly out of the box implementation, because the minute someone says, ooh, I didn't know we could do that. Well, now slippery slope, and we're sliding downhill at a really rapid rate. And so what happens is it's just those customizations happen, scope creep happens. And so you have to be very careful of that. And you have to make sure that we just line that out and plan that out, right?
Fair enough. So, on the Zoho side, people, when would Zoho be a good option? And I'm hearing myself in the background there, Corey. Do you have is there like another speaker on or something?
No, you should be fine. I'm okay.
Okay, that's fine. No, so we were talking about if Zoho is a good option and when Zoho would be a good option. I can think of 3 specific examples, right? I mean, number one is cost, right? Zoho is inexpensive. The professional version is $20 a month a user. The enterprise version, which is what we really recommend to clients because it has all the capabilities, is like $35 a month a user. And Zoho really, it gives you a lot for $35 a month a user. I mean, when people look at Salesforce.com, which can be as much as $125 a month a user, and if you're a small business, really, anywhere from 5 to say 25 users, it could even be a little bit more. But if you're in that range, and you're looking at Salesforce and you're looking at Zoho, Zoho, I like to call it, the poor man's Salesforce.com, mainly because it really does give you a lot of the capabilities of what Salesforce does. Has a same sort of very similar look and feel, browser-based, cloud-based, all that good stuff. But it's just less expensive. So if you're looking for like a really powerful, inexpensive cloud-based product, I think Zoho number one is really good. And comparing it to Dynamics CRM, Dynamics CRM is $65 a month a user, and Zoho is $35 a month a user. So I just think that for the cost, it really does make a lot of sense, and it's a good thing. So that's definitely number one. Number two, I find Zoho to be really user friendly. When I demo Zoho versus some of the other products that are out there, I find it's fast. I find the performance is good. I find you've got a great mobile product as well as a cloud-based product as well. I find it to be a very very quick, flexible product. You are right when you say before it's not as customizable as Dynamics CRM. You really there are some limitations there, but for most of our clients it's fine. But from just a user interface, very easy to get along, very easy to navigate. It's got its own email client inside of it. Comes with a bunch of stuff out of the box. Quite intuitive. Our clients really do like it. So number one is the price. Number two, user friendliness is very good. Number three is the Zoho's community. I mean, you had mentioned earlier that people gravitate more towards Microsoft Dynamics because it's Microsoft, and you've never heard of Zoho, and that's true. But Zoho they've got more than 1 million users of Zoho. I mean, it's if you start Googling around at like top CRM products, you're going to see Zoho riding up in the top 10 list. It's got a big community of people that use it. And when we talk about community, Zoho not only has its a whole suite of additional products that from accounting, project management, invoicing, a whole bunch of other things, but it's got a large amount of third-party cloud-based integrations with products from Zendesk to MailChimp and Constant Contact. They've got a ton of partners as well. So for smaller clients that are looking to build sort of an end-to-end solution CRM-wise, Zoho really does do that for a relatively inexpensive price. So price is inexpensive, user capability very, very good, and interface. And number three is I think the community is quite strong. There's a suite of products with Zoho that I find to be very attractive and very, very good. So those are my
just to throw in a couple comments about what you said there. What I really, really like about Zoho is when I first go to Zoho and I log in, I'm so used to just going to the CRM piece, and then you see all the other applications that they have. Zoho Books, if you're looking for a cloud-based accounting system, nothing like manufacturing and inventory management or anything like that, but like a basic accounting system that integrates my quotes from my CRM into a sales order, and I can track invoices and payments.
So true.
It's so seamless how it's done with them. They have their own campaign management software. So if you have Constant Contact, great. If you don't, use theirs. You can do the same type of thing. And they're so, like we were talking about, we were joking about Dynamics AX and Great Plains and how they used to not talk at all, and now they kind of do, and there's some magic involved. I find that the Zoho world, because they're so built on the same platform and they've been built on top of each other, they were built with the same roadmap involved, that this is what we're going to do, as opposed to this piece and this piece, let's see if we can get them to work together. Zoho is a streamlined product suite. I find it very, very good. The other one that I actually like, and we do a lot of our, we talked about our migrations from Goldmine, one of our other products that we deal with, to when they want to go cloud, we go Zoho. And one of the things that Zoho has that no other cloud-based CRM has that we deal with or that I know of is an internal mail client. Right? So Goldmine has its own mail client, but it's an on-premise system, as we know. Zoho has its own mail client. It's got POP3 integration, SMTP. You set it up. I think it integrates with Gmail seamlessly. You can do the same thing. And so therefore I've got my CRM, and we talk about people's comfort level and the way people use their CRM. I go to open up my CRM today, and I have my mail over here, and I click here for my contacts. I instantly link my emails back and forth. And that is, again, it's a comfort. We talk about dynamics and the comfort of Outlook and the way people like to have it in there. Well, if you're not on Exchange and you're using POP3 or some simplified email,
True.
I think Zoho does it very, very well, and it helps people stay in one area and the comfort level. Again, it's always about user adoption, right? Making it as easy as possible for the user. That helps.
I like it. I like it. So just as a recap, and then we'll wrap this up, Corey. So, Dynamics CRM, some of the biggest, strengths, it's a Microsoft product. So if you like Microsoft, you've got a Microsoft infrastructure, it's certainly a good fit. If you're a bigger company, if you expect to scale and grow, Dynamics CRM is definitely built for that. And it really is extremely customizable. I mean, there's a lot of tools that's available, very good, robust API. So very customizable product. Zoho, on the other hand, less expensive, right? It's only $35 a month a user for its most expensive version compared to $65 a month a user for Dynamics and $125 for Salesforce. So it's certainly less expensive. Zoho itself, from a user friendliness, it's just very smoother, very fast, very clean, great web interface to it. So that's also a good thing about Zoho that I like. And then number 3 is Zoho's community. I feel that there are a lot of integrations to it from third-party vendors, but as you just said, there's a ton of Zoho suite products, Zoho books and other Zoho products that integrate really with it well, from projects to invoicing and campaigns and all of that. So I think Zoho is one of those products that you can have it implemented as a full-blown business system for a smaller business, again, under 50 users. So, well, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is just a brief comparison of the two products. We've got lots more to add and lots more to contribute to you about Zoho and Dynamics CRM, and we'll include those in future Google Hangouts that we did. So, Corey, thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Corey and I will be back sometime in the future. Thanks very much.